And welcome back to Property Palz. My name is Ben.
My name is Marcus.
And we are so excited to be back for another week of the podcast.
Ben, I'm very excited. Number 27 today.
27 big one.
That is a milestone.
And you know what we got to do in a milestone?
What are we going to do?
5 Ripper properties.
Ben, should we just get straight into it?
Just jump into it, Marcus.
All
What
right.
do we got for number 5?
Ben, 1/82 to 84 Barclay Street in Kilda. Now, I'm really excited about this one. The reasoning why is because it's super duper unique. It's 2 bed, 2 bath, 1 car. It's an auction. It's asking between 1.3 to 1.4 million. It's last sold in 2015 for 1.1 million and in 2011 for 865k. It first sold off the plan in 2004, Ben, for 540k. So in 20 years, it's gone up really, it could be 900k basically.
But in 10 years, it's gone up what?
Well, in 20 years, it's gone up about 900k.
And the most recent time that it sold was 2015. 15. Okay, so what's that, 8 years ago? Okay.
So only could maybe
What's the quote range?
1.3 to 1.4.
Okay.
Not amazing, but still at least it's capital gain.
Not
potentially.
bad. That's good.
It says 111 square metres or also 169 square metres, Ben. So what do you think? If you look at the floor plan.
So we're going to pop the floor plan up here. This one, without going into the absolute nitty gritty, like how unique is that, Marcus? It's very difficult to measure up this size because it's got some circular rooms.
It does. If it was 111 square metres, it's $12,000 per square metre. If it is 169, it's about $8,000 per square metre. Now, Ben, it faces west mainly, which could be pretty hot, but expands over 3 different levels. That entryway I think is awesome. You've got that curved kind of room that goes all the way up. You've got the entry. Then you've got the study on the next level. But honestly, Ben, I think that study could perhaps potentially be another bedroom. It's 4x4.
Agreed.
You like a bit of a circle?
Agreed. We reviewed a couple of circular rooms, including a penthouse one in the CBD.
And there's one in Collingwood as well we looked at, I'm pretty sure.
Well, there you go. Some people just, it's a circle of life.
Well, you're up to a good standard today, Ben. So entirely independent with its own secure entry from Charles Street. Built in 2005. The main bedroom is huge at 5.1 times 4.5, Ben. And the study could be a bedroom, as I said. I think it's really cool. The entryway is literally its own.
It's a bit unique, the entryway. We'll pop up a photo of it. You can see it there. They're all townhouses, aren't they?
Yes, they are, Ben.
3-level townhouses. But this one, tell you what, it is so unique with that circular study room, circular entrance, and the covered terrace.
And it's a walk to the beach, Foreshore Promenade, Ackland Street, Fitzroy Streets, the St Kilda Botanic Gardens. You've got trams at your doorstep, really, nearly. But overall, I think it's actually quite a good, it's like 1.3 to 1.4 to be in St Kilda. It's unique. Someone will fall in love with the property, Ben. I really like this one.
I agree. I think it's a pretty cool one.
Yes. All right, Ben, should we smack it to
I reckon
number 4?
let's just jump into number 4. Now, Marcus, for number 4, we're not going too far away.
Yes.
Because we're still in St Kilda. Now, this one is a number 163 Fitzroy Street, St Kilda, Unit 713.
You've done some good due diligence, really robust.
Well, I got the address right. Yeah, you can see there's a lot to talk about here. It's a
Wow.
1 bed, 1 bath, 1 car, private sale. So that means it's not an auction, private sale.
Private?
Yeah, private, behind closed doors.
Very private.
No, it just kind of means that, look, the agent's going to give you a price range, and generally speaking, if you have an offer within that range, that you should be able to buy it. But depending on how many buys there are, could be competitive tension, a bit back and forth and stuff. Maybe then there'll be a bit of competition. But it's been quoted from $475,000 to $500,000. Now,
Wow,
what
Ben.
does that ring in your ear,
Oh,
Marcus?
first home buyer savings.
That's right. Anything under $600,000 in the state of Victoria, you don't pay any stamp duty if it's your first home.
Nothing.
From $600,000 to $750,000, it steps up until once it goes above $750,000, then there's no stamp duty savings, is there?
Sweet. No.
So, but that to me, it's a 1 bedroom. So for no stamp duty at $500,000, let's just say it sells for the top range, 20% deposit, you need $100,000. There's a little bit of legal fees, but there's no stamp duty saving. Now, that's still a lot of money for people. But, compared to say a house or things that are selling for 800, 900, that sort of range, that can be quite attractive. And what it looks like, it's a really cool apartment.
I was just going to say the main bedroom's 4 by 3.2. It's really, really nice there. It's interesting. You've got the main bedroom, which faces really northwest, and then you've got the living terrace area, which faces northwest and then also kind of southwest. It's got a car space there as well.
Pretty attractive. I think when you see the balcony, and we'll pop up a photo here, it looks awesome, right? You can see the beach. So
if you try really hard.
That's right. If you squint a little bit and you look around a building, it is diagonally looking towards the St Kilda beach. So that is south. So, you know, when something that's facing south isn't as warm as something that faces north, but the living room has a high window that also faces north-ish. Yeah, north.
Yes, it does, Ben.
And then
Northwest.
the only thing I think is probably the bedroom. The window in the bedroom's a little bit small.
I would call it not amazing because it's got a bit of a, let's just call it...
Overlooking decal or screening. Frosting, that's the word I was looking for. But, you know, the room there, it's big. The window's a little bit small, but for some sort of first-home buyer, I think this could be, you know, really quite attractive.
How big is it, Ben?
So I haven't done exactly how big it is, but I can tell you one issue that it sold for $499,000 in December 2012. That's over 10 years ago. If it sells for $500,000, it hasn't changed at all in over 10 years.
You would have lost just because of the value of money over time that
That's
you put
right. But look, I think the apartment itself for a first-home buyer in the current situation, housing crisis, rising rents and all that sort of stuff.
You want certainty of your mortgage repayments instead of against your rents going up, maybe?
Agreed. I think this is quite an attractive thing. It's got an 18 square metre balcony. The development's called the Halo development, which faces Fitzroy Street. This one doesn't face Fitzroy Street, which would be north, and also Albert Park and the like. This one faces the other way, but you get the view of the beach. So that's a good one. Let's go on to number 3, Marcus.
Number 3, Ben, 202 of Margaret Street, Richmond.
Nearly got there.
1 bed, 1 bath, 1 car. Thank you, Benjamin. Auction, 590 to 640k. Now, Ben, it says it's 60 square metres internal, a solid size for a 1-beddy.
I agree.
If it's 60 square metres, it's going to be 640 divided by 60, over $10,000 per square metre.
Okay, so it's not a really, really, really low amount, is it?
No, it's not a really, really, really low amount.
But it's not crazy high.
It's not a crazy high either.
It's kind of in the middle.
It's in the middle. And Ben, do you think it's got a massive deck? Do you think that this big deck is making the rate of or the quantum go up overall? How do you quantify this big deck?
It's kind of like, when does a deck get too big? Like, well, in this one it says a terrace, deck terrace
pretty
or whatever.
big.
I think this could be a really cool entertainers, like, you know, a real pad.
So you use the deck for entertaining this one?
Absolutely, because it's in a great location, it's got a good view, and I think, though, in terms of quantum of dollars, it's very rare that you get a deck this big.
Now,
Look,
Ben,
I think we've compared that deck with the previous deck.
There was a big deck that we were looking at before. Anyway, Ben, I think it's a 1-bedder. It's quite nice location. If you were wanting to have your own place, have a really large deck entertaining area, you have a nice bedroom. In terms of when it last sold in 2013 for 510k, in 2008 for 414k. So from 2013 to now, it's not gone up much, 510 to 590, 640.
Same as the previous one.
Yeah, I think it is, Ben. Now,
it's quite close to the station, though, which is really good, though, what you're saying.
But is it also noisy?
Is it facing north or is it facing south?
Oh, you tell me, Ben.
Get up the floor plans. So it's facing south, so it's facing the station.
Yeah, so it's a bit chilly. Yeah, you're probably right.
It's probably that is a little bit noisy. If you're facing the other way, which we might have a look at another one very soon, which does that.
Oh,
but
very
I think
soon.
This is probably okay.
It's in a heritage conversion, built in 2000, faces south, as I put here. The living and dining room are huge, great space if you want to have a sofa, then also having a dining space.
Yep.
I think it's a really nice property for a good quantum that could be below that first home buyer threshold. Let's go, Ben.
And when you're on the deck there, Marcus, like you can see in the photo, which will pop up right here, you've got a really good view of the CBD.
Yep.
I think in terms of inside of it, look, it's not out there. It's quite a tasteful kitchen, timeless, I would say.
Yeah, timeless. Ben, can I just quickly ask, did you tell me if the big deck would impact the square metre rate, having a bigger deck?
I'm not sure. I think it probably adds to it a little bit. Like,
a little bit?
If you have a big balcony, it's something that is quite attractive. We have commented in previous episodes, sometimes when it gets too big, there's a lot of effort in terms of maintaining it, also blocks your view a little bit. But I think this comparatively in size to the internal area, it's just on the edge of probably, you know, it's a very, very big deck, a very big terrace area.
It's almost unimaginable.
But given that it's got a storage cage, a car park, the bedroom's a decent size and the living room's quite nice, I think this is quite attractive.
Let's go on to the next one, Ben.
Well, we are absolutely steaming through it, Marcus, today. So next one, I think we can spend just a little bit more time just really delving into the
I'm glad you've got the information there too, delve into it.
So this one, we're going to 174 Peel Street, Windsor.
What part?
Unit 49. This is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1-car penthouse.
Really slowing it down.
Penthouse.
I love it.
And it's been quoted for $750,000 to $850,000. Now, what's so unique about this property is that some of our keen Property 15 YouTube
It could be
followers.
16 by now.
That's right. Might be even more.
Yep.
Followers might notice that we've previously reviewed this building itself, but the apartment that we reviewed faced the other way. So it's right in the heart of Windsor. It's one side of this building is directly opposite the train station, or the Windsor train station.
Wow.
This one here faces on the other side, so I'm going to pop up a photo, which is kind of Google Earth, where you're seeing the layout of this building, and this one faces. It's a really good orientation, isn't it, Marcus?
This is west mainly, but also south.
So yeah, you're right. Okay, well,
Take that back.
Some people prefer south, so it faces south and west.
Really?
Now the main bedrooms, they look kind of directly into the top of an adjacent building, which I didn't do the research. I wanted to check if it's heritage or not. I think it might be by the look of the building.
Ooh. Oh, it's
So
this one.
that's the same one, yeah, but it's on the other side of it. But this one, when you're
Faces
looking
the
at that,
other way.
when I looked at this originally, I went, wow, that's fantastic. You're not directly opposite the train station, so you'll get a little bit of sound, protection. But what else are you facing?
You're facing the fire brigade.
You're facing the fire
Jeez,
brigade.
I reckon I'd be facing the other way.
So I don't know how
Oh,
frequent, and
Ben.
if they go out, it's like so
course
probably
it
if you're doing your research, you honestly would want to go down there during the day for an hour,
And the night.
like an hour or two, and the night, and just see, what sort of noise comes out of there, and if there's anything going on. Now, this one here, tell you what, we've decided to just review ones with massive terraces and balconies.
Ben, I can't believe
Like,
how big this deck is.
This one, there's so many of these ones. The layout here, the main bedroom and the other bedroom, they're next to each other, but the main bedroom has an ensuite. It's got another bathroom with a bath, kitchen. I think the layout of this is actually quite nice. And the terrace is
Bedrooms
quite
aren't
good too
separated,
as well.
Ben?
Yeah, apart from that, they're not separated. But then for the cost, a two-bedroom with a huge terrace, decent location near the train station, $750,000 to $800,000, we probably would want to check the internal area. But pop up the floor plans. What do you notice, Marcus?
Ben, what do I notice? I notice there's no dimensions.
There's no dimensions,
And
but there's dimensions on the
Storage
storeroom.
cage. I wonder if you look at that storage cage, it might be bigger than the bedrooms.
Well, I think
I'm
that's a
just
real telling
joking.
sound that the storage cage's got the dimensions, but the actual floor plan doesn't. So there's been a strategic choice not to put the dimensions in there.
There, and also, Ben, there's actually a strategic choice. Like, they've gone to the detail of putting the AC in, which has been both bedrooms and also in the living room, but they haven't put the dimensions.
Ooh.
That
So-
main bedroom looks a good size. The other bedroom looks, I would say you struggle
So
to put
this
a
is
cat
a
around
must
there.
inspect. This is a must inspect. Get in there, have a look around, make sure you feel it. Does it feel big enough? And it would be good to maybe do a bit of due diligence to find out how big the internal area is, and then you can come out to, well, how much approximately is this rate per square metre. But just on experience and looking at this, that bedroom plus the other bedroom, the bathroom, the ensuite looks quite sizable. The living room area,
75 square metre.
Yeah, I would say 75 plus. So it's probably being quoted at about $10,000 a square metre, which I think is
Sounds about
acceptable.
right, yeah.
One other thing too, when sometimes you see lots of apartments sell in the same building over a very short amount of time, you do want to do your due diligence if there's an issue or something.
Is there
I'm not
any
sure if there's
cladding?
cladding in this. That's right. I think if there's, you'd want to look at the section 32 in your contract, double check there's no combustible cladding, or if
And
there is, that you do your research.
To be quite honest, I think the elements where like that red screams cladding to me.
Well, we're not sure. We're not
Not 100%
expert,
sure, and I'm
but-
not saying fire cladding, it's just cladding.
But that's right. You just want to do your research at least.
That looks pretty heritage next to it, but do
That's
your
right.
research.
And so when I was looking at this, what are the sales? When did it last sell for? So this one's an interesting one. The building itself looks like it was built around 2000. It sold for $650,000 in November 2003. $670,000 10 years later.
Really?
$20,000 appreciation in March 2013.
What?
And now they're quoting $750,000. So look, not a huge appreciation. Over 10 years, it's gone up potentially $100,000 if it sells in that range. That's $10,000 a year, or a good whopping 1.5%.
That's what you like, don't you, Benjamin?
So I think overall, I think the location is really good. I think in terms of if you're comfortable with the noise, that there's not too much noise in there. You're in the hustle and the bustle. There's a Telstra exchange pretty close nearby, which might be an issue for some people, but some people will just love it. So Marcus, come on. Number one.
Number one, are we going well time-wise?
We are.
Oh, let's go. Number one, 32 Peel Street, Collingwood, Ben. Now, Collingwood.
Oh,
Do you
wow.
like Collingwood?
Is that the best street in the world?
Well, Ben, I
One of
think
them.
you love that street. I wonder why. There's a lot of good things on corners in this street.
Oh, come on. I think that Peel Street, Collingwood, is a very interesting street because it's got the plane trees there. So it's got a little bit of Fitzroy feel to it as well.
Also, you've got a bit of Kew, got a bit of Turak, got a bit of that
That's
kind
right.
of vibe. Auction, $1.7 to $1.8 million. Ben, what do you think of this beauty? It's an absolute ripper pocket of Collingwood. It's a corner Victorian classic, elegance of a historic gold rush era setting, not taken from this description at all. Part of the 1868 Barnard buildings and a
Wow.
former hotel.
Wow.
Now, Ben, this 2-level residence, tell me, what do you think?
So when I see it, it's on a corner, right?
Hawthorn brick.
The exposed brick, oh wow. Love it.
If you zoom in on that, Ben, I would kiss that Hawthorn brick.
Now, what's really good, I know this street, there's so much around there, like in terms of amenities, Marcus, I'm sure, there's so much Japanese food in that area.
What's on the corner?
There's also a couple of clubs as well.
Yep.
But it's far enough away that you probably wouldn't hear it from there. But I do know there's a pizza place, there's a bar. Cambridge Street there is one of Gurner's buildings, and it's got Smith and Deli, I think, and Smith and Daughters, which is like a kind of like a restaurant too. It's right in the heart of it too as well. Smith Street's only, a stone's quite hard throw
I'd say
away,
a vortex.
Yeah, a vortex throw, but you probably could throw a vortex just. No,
I
actually, it's
reckon I
quite.
could.
Yeah,
Just
you probably
Fitzroy,
could.
yeah.
Oh, remember you've got a park nearby there. But this one too, Marcus, what's opposite this or diagonally opposite it?
Oh, Ben, well, I've heard that there's a nice little greenery or local parkland being built.
And it's
on
not.
a
It's
road.
not little. It's actually the biggest park in Collingwood.
And
It's
how
just
big
been
is it,
upgraded.
Ben?
I'm not sure exactly
Oh,
square meters.
yeah.
Come on. But it actually is the biggest park now in Collingwood, called Cambridge Reserve.
Wow.
So bring your friends, your family, your barbecue, your kids, your mum,
Boyfriend,
your dad,
your girlfriend, your
boyfriend,
partner.
girlfriend, whatever partner you've got, bring them all. But apart from that, Marcus, come and tell me about this layout.
So I was just going to say, firstly, Ben, it's 2-level. It's impeccably and sympathetically renovated to a flexible contemporary living in a whisper-quiet comfort of Collingwood. High ceilings range from 3.4 metres, and they also have the original floorboards. I actually looked at the description. It's fairly good from a sustainability perspective.
Wow.
They had and livability design elements included tilt and turn double glazed windows, Ben. You like to tilt and turn, used in passive house a lot.
There we
And then
go.
hydronic heating to superb insulation.
Wow. Well, what's really fascinating about this one too as well, I'm looking at the
What's
floor plans which will
fascinating?
pop up. We've got a cellar there. So you can have, if you're a fan of the wine, a bit of a winey person,
Yep.
it's good for there.
Oh,
It's
down
got-
in the basement. That is a
That's
bit
right.
cheeky, isn't it?
It is. But then also it's got a cute little balcony out of one bedroom.
Yep.
And then, but what's even more interesting is that I'm looking at this area. Peel Street's got quite a lot of retail and F&B
It
along there.
does, Benjamin.
So with that downstairs area, I'm thinking on downstairs, ground floor, could you lease out just that downstairs area and the
Well,
toilet?
where does it start, Ben? What allows you to change it to a commercial
The
or
zoning.
a cafe? What kind of zone is it?
What is the zoning?
The zoning
Mixed
is
use?
mixed use.
Oh, there you go. So you're allowed to do that.
ladies, gentlemen, everyone, this is mixed use zone. If it was a residential zone, general residential zone, generally you cannot use it as for a cafe or a retail. But this is mixed use zone. So Ben, you could literally put a cafe on the bottom, a bar, a pizza shop on the bottom, and then you could live above.
All little architect, but you can actually, it works quite well because you can cut off one of those doors
Yeah.
and they've got their own bathroom there.
You do.
There's 2 car spaces, so they can have one of the car spaces,
Yep.
which is common area behind. So I think there might be an owners cooperation with these ones, even though it's
really?
a standalone. Well, because you park behind the building when you go around, it will pop up a photo on the corner of the building. You can see just to the side of it, that's where you park your car.
Okay.
But it's a cute one in a great suburb, on a great street, right in the heart of the hustle and the bustle.
North-facing rear balcony, Benjamin, spacious main bedrooms. But the only thing is, if you look at the floor plan,
Yep.
it's got a lot of taste in there, a lot of the design, older design. Ben, I'm not sure it suits me, but I don't mind it.
There might be one person that likes it.
Does a bedroom have an ensuite anywhere, Ben?
The wine cellar looks nice. But the ensuite for the bedroom, looking upstairs, the down...
Retreat?
ooh.
Is it?
The upstairs, there's no
That's
there's
the
no bathroom
upstairs?
upstairs.
No, that's the
downstairs.
downstairs.
That's,
Oh,
that's
sorry,
ground
sorry.
floor.
Yeah, yeah,
there's that's the one issue.
Ben, no
No
good old... And the
bathroom
kitchen
upstairs.
no bathroom upstairs. So if you have to take a doozy, you have to go downstairs at night. I don't reckon you'd be able to hold on.
Well, I think there would be other properties that are like that back in the day.
Now, Ben, you told me to talk about collective capitals to office development diagonally opposite
That's
1,150 square metres.
Pop up a photo of the big green
commercial
one.
office space. We're getting
Yeah.
the hurry up. Talk about the new Cambridge Reserve.
We've talked about that.
We have talked about, mentioned the bars.
And we've talked about all the stuff there. So I reckon, Marcus, that's about it.
Ben, I really like this development, this one here, but where would you live out of all of those?
So I think out of all the ones there, I know that area is very, very cool. I think that Windsor Street one's nice if there's not too much noise. But I think I think that Richmond one's actually a real winner.
That is a pearler, I would say, Ben.
Yeah.
Property Palz signing off today. Thanks so much. Like, subscribe, get your
Leave a
mum,
comment
your
below.
dad, your brother, your sister, your boyfriend, your girlfriend.
And we'll see you next week.
Subscribe.
See you later.